I hope you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see.
So today we will be studying about what economics is about, microeconomics and macroeconomics, positive and normative economics. What is an economy? A simple economy will talk about organization of economic activities, types of activities, and also central problems of central economy. Okay, we'll discuss
Okay, yeah.
ETF and opportunity cost in the next class.
Okay.
So I was telling you about the person's name who divided this economics into micro and macro. So this happened in 1933. And the name of the person is Ragnar Frisch. He is the person who divided into micro and macro. Right? Now coming to economy. So if I talk to you about the earlier civilization man, right? That he was really very happy, you know, wearing clothes or not wearing clothes, living in forests, eating fruits, life was going on, right? So what was the need of economy? What was the need of earning money, right? What was the need? So economy means to work,
Okay.
right? And economy is a system which I hope you can understand my writing.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, anything you are not able to understand, please let me know.
Yeah.
Which provides people a living, to earn a living, how they can earn their living. Right? And their economy is, again, if I talk about, let me say this. You can also take the screenshot because sometimes it doesn't get saved. So,
Oh, yeah, I wrote it down.
done? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So economy has these three functions. Economy basically it's a vital process which will run all the other processes. Now, what is the need of the economy? Vital process which will run other processes. So what are the other processes I'm talking to you about?
Like the basic thing, like education, hair, you know.
I'm talking about production. I'm just giving you a gist and then we will be reading the chapter, okay?
Yeah.
Production, consumption, investment. And investment is also called as capital formation. So now I want to give you an example. Suppose I talk about a person named Chintu. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a little boy whose name is Chintu who celebrated his birthday and he got 5,000 from his parents as a gift. Okay. Now
Okay.
5,000 rupees is too much for him and he's so excited and he is thinking now where to spend his money, right? So he's thinking either he can give, he can throw a party to his friends, right?
Yeah.
Or he can buy new shoes, nice shoes for him. Or maybe he can go to the market, spend some money, buy good clothing, do some shopping. Or he can spend the money on books. He likes to read the books. He's very fond of sports, so he can also spend the money on sports, correct? Also, he is thinking to save the money. Sorry. Extremely sorry.
No, it's fine.
So he's also thinking that he can also save the money, right? So
Yeah.
can you see so many alternatives he has? Sorry. Can you see all how many alternatives he has? All these are options, correct? So
Yeah.
what? So see, now can you think, can you tell me that can he buy all these things out of this 5,000?
No.
So the problem here is why we study economics is resources. These all I can call it the resources. The resources, sorry, not these, this cash. Okay, this cash I can call it as the resources. If I talk about cash or I talk about labor, correct? So you have to work on various things now. Um, can you take a screenshot again so I can clear all these things and start writing again?
Yeah. Okay.
Done? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was telling you is the resources are limited. But could you see Chintu wanted so many things?
Yeah.
Was thinking of so many things. So human wants are unlimited, correct?
Yeah.
So with these limited resources, you have to satisfy unlimited human wants, correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So this is why what you want now, you have to select the best alternative, correct? So economics is, kind of a social science which will study the ways in which one can satisfy the society, with these limited resources and help select this best alternatives, right? Basically, satisfy the various sectors of society. And this I'm talking about government. Government has a limited budget, right? And the
Yeah.
government, that is the way it distributes it has formed various sectors. Okay. And if I
Yeah.
talk about tax, so that also government has to analyze how much tax it has to charge with the rich people, how much tax it has to charge with the poor people, right? Please take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the sectors that it has to serve? It can be primary. Primary means that raw material. When in a factory, first there is a procurement of raw material, right? It is converted into finished goods, correct? And then it is distributed through tertiary sources, correct? So these are the sectors I'm talking about, okay? Now, what are the branches of economics? What is this happening? Now it's correct, right? Okay. So we have micro and macro. Micros. What does this mean? This is simple, right? So this I, what does it stand for?
Kindness.
Individual, right?
Yeah.
And here we talk about aggregate, the whole nation,
Oh, okay.
correct? It can
Yeah.
be combination. What can be the third difference?
Um,
Let's talk about the tools that we have. So here we will discuss about demand and supply. Here also demand and supply, but aggregate demand and supply.
mm,
Other names can be like the theory that we use is the price theory here. We will be studying about all these. And here we will be studying about income and employment theory. So there are some basic assumptions that we follow. There are no, see, economics, can you tell me, is it a science or a social science?
social science.
Why not science? Because science follows some fixed principles, right? There cannot be fixed principles in case of economics. Suppose you say that I mix hydrogen and oxygen, it will form water, right? So you mix it in any country, you mix it in India, you mix it in Singapore, it will always form water, right? But if you invest money in Singapore or you invest money in India, you will not get the same returns, right? That is the reason economics is a social science and not a science. Okay, so there are certain things that we have to assume, right? So there are some basic assumptions. So macro variables here in micro to be remain constant. And here micro variables will remain constant. And if I give you the examples, we can say individual income, and individual output. And here you will talk about national income. And national output. Okay, please save this.
Yeah. Yeah, done.
Please read.
I can still see the whiteboard.
Okay, you can still see the whiteboard. I hope you can see it now.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Economics is that branch of knowledge in which those activities of human beings are studied, which they undertake to acquire scarce and limited ones. Dictionary meaning of the term economics refers to that science which studies human activities related to wealth. The term economics in English language has its origin from in two Greek words, orkos, which is household, and nimin, which is management. So together they mean management of household. Human wants are unlimited, but the means to satisfy them are limited. So the means are called wealth. Each household likes to utilize its wealth as to satisfy most of its wants or to maximize its satisfaction. Likewise, a producer tries to maximize his profits by allocating his scarce resources to the production of different goods and services. At the level of economy as a whole, maximization of satisfaction implies maximization of social welfare. Thus, it is to achieve the objective of maximization of satisfaction at an individual level and maximization of profit at a level of a producer.
So first, human has unlimited wants and they all have different choices, right? So it's
Yeah.
not easy to, allocate or make use of that we are talking or to serve the society, right? Because our resources are limited, correct? So that is the reason this is a specialized knowledge in terms of economics that we are studying, correct? And as we have studied in accounts that these only deals with money related to wealth, right? maximizing profit. That is the reason how our economy will grow. That is the reason we are talking about money, right? I was telling you about the ancient people, they were satisfied, right? But why we need to work? Why? Because so that we can increase our economy, right? Right. Sorry. And maximization of
social welfare at the level of economy as a whole through allocation of scarce means of to alternate uses that we need to study
so
economics.
how will our economy grow and how will our country move from developing to develop, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
economics is, yeah.
economics is a science of human behavior concerned with the allocation of scarce means in such a manner that consumers can maximize their satisfaction, producers can maximize their profits, and the society can maximize its social welfare.
So here we have taken into account all the needs. We're talking about consumers, we're talking about producers, we're talking about society, right? Society will not talk about profit, producers will not talk about satisfaction. Their main aim is to earn the profit, right? And customers, when they're consuming it, they need satisfaction, right? We are serving the society for the social welfare, right? So just catch the keywords. In case in exam you forget anything, just try to catch the keywords and combine them. Scarcity and choice is the essence of economics.
Imagine yourself as the richest person on the earth. Can you get anything you wish to get anytime? Certainly not. Thus, no matter how much resources, means you have, these must be scarce in relation to your wants. So, scarcity, it means it refers to the situation when what you have is less than what you wish to have. In other words, scarcity implies a situation where supply of resources is less than the demand of resources.
So first thing is, suppose you went to a market, you went to a fruit seller and you wanted 100 kg of apples. And he said that, no, I only have 80 kgs, correct? So when his demand is more than supply, then you can call it as scarcity. When the resources are available, the availability of resources are lesser than what you want, that is scarcity. So
So choice,
first read two basic characteristics of resources or means.
the first is scarcity. So resources are scarce in relation to human wants, and alternative uses, which is that resources have alternative uses. For example, land may be used to grow wheat or rice, or it may be used for the construction of buildings.
So one resource can be used for more than one use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, choice is the
Yeah. Choice is the outcome of scarcity. Choice emerges when limited resources are to be used for the satisfaction of unlimited wants. A rupee cannot buy 10 things when the price of each thing is 1 rupee. So you have to choose the thing you want, so you would prefer to have. You have to forego 9 things in favor of that one thing you choose to have. You have to make a choice simply because because you must face scarcity.
yeah. So that
So
is making a choice out of the available, making the best choice out of the available resources. Choice refers to the
choice refers to the process of selection from available limited alternatives. It emerges because resources are scarce and resources can be allocated to alternative use.
so scarcity causes choice. Choice implies decision making. Decision making relates to usage of limited resources in a manner that consumer will maximize. So what does consumer needs? Satisfaction, right? So how will he gain the satisfaction? When he makes the correct choice, whatever is available to him. Producer will maximize his profits. When producer is selling something and consumer, with which it gives satisfaction to the consumer, then only producer will be able to maximize its profit, right? and the society maximize. This we have studied. The essence of economics. So scarcity of resources in relation to unlimited human wants, problem of choice or allocation of resources to alternative uses, economic problem arising out of scarcity and choice. So this is what I was telling you, demand and supply. Why do we need to study the economic problems? Because they arise out of scarcity. What is scarcity? The resources are limited and the demand is more, right? And making the best choice out of the alternatives available. Economics is the science of human behavior. Confronted with the problem of choice or the problem of allocation of scarce resources to their alternative users. For achieving the objectives of maximization, so this is all we want to achieve: maximization of profit, welfare of society, satisfaction of consumers. Please read micro and macro.
When the problem of choice, which is economic problem, are studied and addressed at the level of individual, it is called microeconomics. When the problems of choice are studied and addressed at the level of a country as a whole, or at the level of different regions in the country, then it's called macroeconomics. With these observations in mind, we can now produce, yeah.
So we discussed this. Micro is about individual and macro is about the aggregate, the whole country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, micro.
Yeah, microeconomics, the term micro in English language has its origin in the Greek word micros, which means small. It studies economic activities of an economic unit, like demand of salt by an individual household, or economic activities of a small group of economic units, like demand. What that is?
Because it deals with individuals, so it studies individuals' demand. Because how will the producer maximize a profit when it caters to the needs of the individuals, right? When we are
Yeah.
studying microeconomics.
So microeconomics includes the study of demand theory, production theory, price determination, and factor pricing.
Or distribution. This is
Yeah.
important, okay?
Okay.
So this macroeconomics.
Then my macroeconomics. So the term macro in English has its origin from Greek word which is macros, which means large. It studies economic activities related to economy as a whole. For example, it studies aggregate demand for all goods and services in the economy. Macroeconomics deal with aggregates such as uh, national income, total employment, general price level, etc.
So up we just have the price determination, right? We have the
Yeah.
production theory, we have the income which is individual, but here we are talking about the whole nation in macro, national income, total employment. We are talking about the general price level and not at the individual level. So let's see the difference quickly now.
Yeah. So micro economics studies economic relations or economic problem at the level of an individual firm, on individual household or an individual
It can be
consumer.
anything but individual.
Yeah. And macroeconomics studies economic relations or economic problem at the level of economy as a whole. Then microeconomics is basically concerned with determination of output and price for an individual firm or industry, uh, and it briefly refers to the theory of price, while macroeconomic is concerned with determination of aggregate output and general price level in the economy as a whole. So it refers to as the theory of income and employment. Then study of microeconomics assumes that micro variables remain constant. Example, it is assumed that aggregate output is given while we are studying determination and output and price of an individual firm or industry. And
Slowly,
study
slowly,
of
slowly, slowly, go slowly. Otherwise, it's not just about reading, but it's about understanding also.
yeah,
So, microeconomics, we discussed that the theory of price we will be studying in microeconomics, and theory of income and employment because it's talking about the whole nation, right? Aggregate
yeah,
everything, and micro individual. And study of microeconomics assumes that macro variables remain constant So it is assumed that aggregate output is given while we are studying determination of output and price of an individual firm. And here micro variables will remain constant. So that will be opposite in both the cases. Okay. So
That's
market
question. Like,
forces of supply and demand. Can you please read this?
no, wait, I have a question though. Like,
Mhm.
what are macro variables or micro variables?
We will be talking about, suppose, see, if you tell me that you want to set up a factory, right?
Yeah,
Or so what do you need for that? You need land, you need labor,
land, yeah, resources.
correct? Now, if I
Yeah,
tell you do it in 15 days, is it possible for you?
no,
No. So if I talk about, so these are variables means which can be changed, right?
yeah,
So these are the factors that we are going to discuss in detail about. Okay. So in fixed we'll talk about the long term. Okay. So that can be changed instantly. Suppose labor I can arrange in 15 days, but I cannot arrange the land, right? What you can
yeah,
change in smaller time will be variable, and which you cannot change in long time. You can change everything, correct?
yeah,
In the longer time, you'll be able to change everything. You'll be able to change land. You'll be able to change, right? So these all things we'll be talking about.
oh, yeah. So, market forces of supply and demand play a significant role in the context of microeconomic problems like the problem of product pricing or factor pricing. And in macroeconomics, the government policies play a significant role in the context of macroeconomic problems like the problem of unemployment, poverty, and inflation.
Yes. So these are the market forces. Basically, in this class 11, we are going to talk about supply and demand in detail, right? Macroeconomics is later. But you need to know what is actually macroeconomics and what does it deals with, okay? Positive and normative economics.
Yeah. So positive economic deals with economic issues or economic behavior related to past, present, or future. It deals with economic situations which can be studied by using facts or and figures. Then, for example,
An
on the
example.
sorry,
Example read.
sorry.
This is an example. Please read.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, for example, on the eve of independence, uh, poverty in India affected larger percentage of population than now. So it is an observation related to the past. Then 22% of population in India is absolutely poor. So below poverty line. Then it is an observation related to the present.
Present.
And then if population in India continues to grow at the existing rate, then the percentage of population below poverty line will exceed 22% in the year 2020, and this is observation related in the future.
So on this basis, only the government drafts its policies, right? Studying
Hmm.
past, present, and future. So all these observations are elements of positive economics. Observation highlight the state of poverty in the past, present, and future. So positive economics is the economics of what was, what is, and what would be. What are the characteristics? Please read these statements.
So these statements highlight the nature and extent of economic problems or analyze the economic behavior of the people related to past, present, or future. Then these statements are based on facts and figures related to past, present, and future.
So
And
first
these
it highlights the nature and the problems, then facts and figures, then
then the statements are uh, verifiable,
verifiable,
uh,
evident,
verifiable for
evident. The facts and figures are the evidence of what you are telling about the past and future. Okay.
yeah, and they do not reflect any value, judgment, or opinion of the people, like economics.
Yeah, this is a different thing. You're going to study the last point in normative economics. So you can catch the key points here, nature and extent, based on facts and figures, verifiable. If you are difficult, finding it difficult, verifiable, you can write evident. Do not reflect any value judgment. Yeah.
Then normative economics is the economic of what ought to be. It deals with opinions of the economists related to economic issues or economic problems. Different economists may offer different opinions on the solution of a problem. So opinions involve value judgments.
So
So suppose
before we discuss normative economics first, there is a caution for positive economics that when we study the facts about what people are saying about the past, the present, and the future. So suppose one person is saying India's population is 100 crores and the other is saying India's population is 121 crores. So both are positive statements, even if the first is wrong and the second is right, right? The point to be emphasized is that positive statements are verifiable. You have to work on the facts and the figures. Okay. And the last points that we discussed, that what positive economics does not include is included in normative economics, that there are so many economics in our economy and they have a different viewpoint. They have a different judgment, right? Now read the following statements.
so MGNREGA.
Minirega. It's also called Minirega.
Okay. Will one day bring an end to the problem of unemployment in the country. Sorry, what do you call it again?
Manrega.
Okay, Manrega is just a program of financial aid to the unemployed people in rural areas. Beneficiaries of Manrega will remain as unproductive workers. Then Manrega uses taxpayers' money and should therefore be stopped.
So economics, you will get so many programs to read about. You should know the full form. You should know what this program is about. Will one day bring an end to the problem of unemployment. So just remember, when you study so many programs, just remember one thing: Manrega leads to unemployment. Then only you will remember more thing about this program. So it is providing financial aid to the unemployed people in rural India. How it provides users taxpayers money and should therefore be stopped.